Alright, let's begin. We have finished the loading screen. Took a bit of a while, so hopefully I will edit that part out. I'm gonna go with advice only, just sort of to get occasional warnings about all the stuff that's happening in the game. Alright, so we start with a lot of resources. There's some gold here, even though it's in miasma. There's some shells in the lakes. The terrain looks a little bit weird. Alright, so there was a bit of a visual delay. We have a lot of tubers, which we always get if you're playing as the Africans for some reason. I don't know why, but they're actually pretty good. They give you a bonus to production if you improve them later on. And we always have gold for some reason, which is also good because you get extra culture, I suppose. Fibers, excellent. Get a lot of food from those, which we kind of need. But yeah, I'm actually especially happy with the tubers here. They're probably the best thing for production. Early in the game, you need a lot of that stuff. We even have some silica as well, which is cool. Okay, so I think this is a pretty cool location, especially in the center. Although, I wonder if we start here, maybe. Do we miss anything? We don't gain anything either. So yeah, I guess this is pretty much the best. Let's do it. Alright, so this is supposed to be a burning planet. Doesn't look very burny. There's some grasslands here which look kind of weird. Sure, whatever. Alright, so this here we can see the launched lasercom satellite. This is related to the Signal quest line. The lasercom satellite Old Earth launched in the wake of our seed ship will not last forever. In the years ahead, we will need to develop our infrastructure and manufacture our own replacement. Yada yada yada. If you want to build this, you want to read all that stuff. It's kind of interesting. So these are the bonuses that you will get from all of these buildings, as long as you have a stable signal with Old Earth. So this culture, it's not going to last forever. It will go away as soon as you lose the signal. In fact, we barely receive any culture at all. Yeah, we have a +1 from this building, the headquarters, which is in our capital, but we have not built the signal decoders yet, which is why we are not receiving any culture from that. And all the future satellites will give you +3 science. So here's the thing: if we want to continue to maintain this Old Earth, all the Old Earth bonuses from the signal, there's something we have to do, which we have to build. We have to launch a lasercom satellite. Let me show it to you. It's all the way here. Yeah, so it's gonna take a very long time. About 50 turns, 40 turns if you have a lot of science. It's gonna take a while to actually get there. And you also need petroleum. So this victory conditions feels a little bit polarizing. Not everyone is going to be able to reach this, unless you're playing maybe the Slavic Federation, and because they have a lot of resources, especially oil. So this one is probably in their favor. Hey, and one more thing: if at the start of the game you get to choose which free technology you want, so this will sort of be deciding your general direction in the early game. I feel like ecology is a no-brainer because this is the one that actually contains explorer. Yeah, so if you want to build an explorer, which is like the scout in the early game, the only way to do this is to actually go for ecology. So I feel like ecology is a no-brainer. You really need at least maybe 2 scouts in the early game, just to sort of grab all these goodie huts, which are not actually huts, they're actually, yeah, resource pods. So yeah, I'm actually going to go straight for that. There we go. And we also get some kind of... what buildings do we have? Yeah, we have the laboratory. So if we want a specialist... a science specialist, if we want to boost our science, we might actually build that stuff. But right now we don't really need a lot of science. We're doing fine. What next do you want to build? Let's see. Explorer sounds like a no-brainer. Yeah, let's go with that. It's going to be 10 turns, actually. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of turns. So I guess we don't have a lot of industry. Not as much as I hoped. Well, hopefully once we grow in about 4 turns, we will get one of these tiles here, so we get some extra energy as well. But for now, we're going to go grab these goodie huts. Oh, we still have to choose research, sure. Let's see. So here's the thing. If I want to try and grab the lasercom satellite thing, we're going to need a lot of petroleum. So logically, you want to research petroleum as early as you can before you build another city, just to see if you have any petroleum nearby whatsoever. But I'm actually going to go for pioneering because we want to expand as early as we can. And don't worry, if we pick up enough goodie huts, I think this science thing, it's not going to take too long. Here's the second player, which came down. So it's kind of funny. In this game, you have all these... all the other factions will come down eventually, but you always start first. Oh, look, there's some snow here, even though this is supposed to be a burning planet, I suppose. Nice. So we have 70 energy, which is going to be very useful. as we build a lot of improvements. We did not get any artifacts. Okay, maybe later. Okay, so let's describe a few of the different mechanics here. I think there's been a little bit of an overhaul when it comes to the affinities. So what are affinities? Affinities, basically, they determine your attitude towards the aliens and the planet itself. So, for example, if you go harmony, it means you are being friendly towards the planet. You are being symbiotic. You are embracing the new changes that are happening to the human species as we interact with this new planet here and the aliens themselves. So eventually, if you play along harmony, in theory, you will start to take on some more alien-like characteristics. For example, you will start... let's see here. Yeah, alien opinion accumulates 50% faster. Negative alien opinion recovers 100% faster. So this is going to be really good, a very powerful advantage, especially on this type of planet where all the aliens are like super sensitive and not very friendly. So this will actually make them a lot more friendly towards us, and all the other factions are going to be struggling with them. So yeah, we're going to be very friendly with the aliens using this, and we get +2 culture from cloning plants and alien reserves at level 3. So yeah, a lot of alien-related stuff, and eventually trade routes can be made through miasma, and in the late game, like a level 8, we take no damage from miasma, and in fact we gain a healing bonus in the miasma. So yeah, this is a super alien situation. Purity is basically your human species is improving itself as a human species point blank. You're just trying to improve humans themselves and completely just trying to block out all the other foreign influences, both machinery and alien-related bonuses. What do I mean by machinery? Machinery is basically the supremacy. Supremacy, it's about transcending the basic physical nature of humanity and the aliens. You're trying to become superior to organic life in every way, in every shape and form. So you're going to be having like a lot of machine-related powers and abilities. I think that's how it goes. I never really understood what supremacy is about. But yeah, towards the late game, you're going to be building the Emancipation Gate, and you're basically trying to send troops back to Earth in order to help them out back at home, which I think is very similar to vanilla. I think that's exactly pretty much the same. I haven't tried the Exodus Gate, the Promised Land Victory Quest. I think this one is going to be like bringing humanity from old Earth to this new planet. I think that's how it goes. Whereas Harmony, you're just being connected with the planet itself. Yeah, that's pretty much how the Victory Quest goes. So yeah, and of course, the most fun aspect, in my opinion, is all the hybrid stuff you get. Well, they're not very remarkable, I suppose, but usually I find myself playing the Harmony, Supremacy, Affinity, which is like the most alien thing you can do. As you can see, it's directly opposed to Purity. This is like the absolute alienist thing you can do in this game. And yes, the units that come out of this are really bizarre and kind of scary looking, to be honest. They look like completely non-human. It's just ridiculous, but I like it. I love it. So we're probably going to go for one of these two hybrids, either the Purity Harmony or Supremacy Harmony. But we'll see how it goes. It really depends on what kind of neighbors do we have. If we have a lot of aggressive douchebag neighbors, we're probably going to go Affinity and Purity and just try to beat them as much as possible. Which is not my playstyle, but hey, it's worth a try. What was that? I've never actually seen that. Ooh, those were the craters. Nice. Alright, so a cacophony of noise and the blinding light halts daily life across the globe. An enormous meteor has exploded in our planet's atmosphere. Citizens, our planet's not really our planet. We are the aliens, as far as I'm concerned. Citizens of every colony watch in wonder as the remaining pieces fall to the surface, which we have just seen here. Although a shockwave was felt across the globe, reports of damage in the colonies have been mercifully light. Good. Scientists are now measuring trace amounts of nitrogen in the alien atmosphere, suggesting that the meteorite may have brought an abundance of this chemical to the planet. However, responders from the nearest colony are recording high levels of radiation near the largest impact site, preventing further study. So this is like every planet type, every biome has its own wonder. So for example, the primordial planet, which we're playing here, is going to have a lot of is going to have this meteor thing. If you go to the frozen planet, it's going to have a very different type of natural wonder. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to walk up to them and explore them, and this will sort of trigger the quest line as it is. Now, I would love to talk more about the I guess the tech tree. For some reason, I cannot zoom out. I'm trying right now, but I can't seem to do this. And the reason why I can't really talk too much about it is because it is just really complex. Look at this massive web. It kind of reminds me of endless space, I suppose. A lot of people did not like this technology tree. I kind of think it's cool. It's a little bit more complex. Might give you a headache, but eventually, as you play it, you will get used to it. And with this mod, they have actually made even more changes. They have reduced the number of leaf technologies, mainly, you know. The leaf technologies means you basically have to research the branch first before you get to this one. So yeah, this might take some time. And they have rebalanced them. So most of these leaf technologies are related to aquatic bonuses or specialized sort of like empire-wide bonuses, but they usually relate to either things like the weather controller, you know, something extravagant, something you want to add that will give you a slight bonus, but they're not strictly required for winning or indeed achieving victory. They might make your play a little bit more easy, I suppose, more convenient, depending on the situation. They're very situational, but most of them seem to relate to ocean-related bonuses, like this one here, the tidal turbine, 1 energy from ocean terrain. So if we were playing an ocean game, this is pretty much a requirement. This is actually really, really good. You will start buying things with energy, which is the replacement for, which is the currency, pretty much. All right, let's go with the next turn. So for some reason, these guys already have a very high score. What the hell happened? All right, let's explore this. Oh, there was a forest there? Yeah, apparently there was a forest, so yeah, we can't move through there. But yeah, I kind of like the terrain in this planet. Look at that. Everything is burning. There's the trenches. The trenches actually look different on each planet. On a burning planet, naturally they would have like some fire coming out of it. You know, it's like a lava region. Look at those shells. They're actually looking pretty cool. And we're going to explore this. There we go. At the site of a smaller meteor crater. So yeah, one of the it's like the meteor. It broke off. Some pieces of it broke away, and they just landed here. And we're exploring one of them. Discovery of pure nitrogen gas. Experimenting on samples from this site has led to a second major discovery. Exposure to this nitrogen can momentarily convert our planet's toxic atmosphere into a form of breathable air. I don't understand how this happens, but hey, it's an interesting concept. With enough of this new chemical, we could greatly reduce the survival gear needed for our colonists in the field. Which means, so apparently the atmosphere on this lava planet is not very friendly to our colonists, and they're having a hard time breathing there. But for some reason, this nitrogen thing is making life easier for them. I don't know how that happens, but hey, I'll take it. Research pioneering. Oh, yes, we're already doing that. Way ahead of you, buddy. Way ahead of you there, buddy. So I think we really need a worker because unless we improve all these things, we're gonna have a hard time growing in the early game. So let's do that. 60 energy, no artifacts. Are you kidding me? Why? That is unfair. So if I want to explore further, where do I go? As you can see here, there's a bunch of mountains and trenches all over this place, which is gonna make exploration difficult for this in the early game, especially towards this region here, towards the east. So if I want to explore, I'm guessing we might want to go towards the west, actually. So yeah, let's go there. And when I get a scout, I might send him south, I suppose. There's a couple of hills here. In fact, there's a resource pod, and we might want to grab that before these guys do. And hey, look at that. The massive meteor crater itself is right here, very close to us. Now, hopefully we will not have to explore this thing, because it is really... Yeah, it's kind of huge, and well, it's far away, and it's very close to these guys, and they probably will hesitate to give us open borders. Now, I do want to point out that one of the things that this mod has not fixed, it's the diplomacy. Diplomacy in this game is as weak as it has ever been. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, they added some new mechanics with the diplomatic capital, but it just doesn't work. I don't really like it, to be honest. I mean, the AI will get pissed off at you for lots of weird reasons. Oh, there we go. We have another crater. Cool. And sometimes they will just, if you play in a certain way which they don't like, they will arbitrarily decide that you suck. I don't like you anymore. I'm like, you know, whatever. Just let me do what I want. Okay, so we have a explorer already done. What do we want to build next? thinking there's still a ways to go until the pioneering, so we have some turns maybe build another explorer or maybe one of these things. I'm thinking the clinic would be great. 10%. Well, there's a quest for it as well. And we do get some extra health from that. Something to think about. Or we could go straight for the worker. I don't know. I think we're gonna go with the extra explorer. Yeah, let's do that. The more pods we grab, the more I think the more successful we can become in the early game. Let's do that. Yeah. Hopefully, one of them has some kind of culture. All right. So we have a convenient target for a war. In case we go to war, we're probably gonna go with that. And there you go. The signal data bonus has given us +1 population in all cities, which is basically this one, which is the capital. Let's go that way. All right. Now there's a crash satellite, which I believe our scouts can conduct an expedition. Yeah, you can conduct an expedition. We have one module, which we can expend here. In order to replenish those modules, you have to go back to the capital. So there's going to be a lot of sort of moving back and forth. Unfortunately, this one has miasma and has a forest. So it's going to take like maybe 10 turns to complete this thing. And by the time we're done, the scout would be dead. So you actually have to move him back and forth, which can be really annoying. But hey, it has to be done if you want to gain a lot of artifacts. Wow, the turn processing is unusually long. Let's move this way. Longer than usual, I mean. Alrighty, 50 energy. We'll receive 15 signs from the quest line, which is basically grab 2 artifacts, or grab 2 resource pots. So we got this really weird artifact here. Basically, a basic set of equipment for a Forgotten Earth sport, Joller Ball. I think this is cricket, a basketball, and a tennis ball. So what does Joller Ball mean? I have no idea. This game was invented when rising sea levels forced low-lying islands to rethink both the use of space as well as dependency on dry land. Oh, that's kind of clever. Incorporating elements of rugby and cricket. Rugby? Where's rugby? It's a basketball. The sport was considered a niche pastime until global climate change impacted larger urban areas. Yeah, I have no idea where rugby came from. I can see the cricket, though. Anyways. So we got that out of the way. Nice. A free solar collector is ready for launch in the city of Magan. Good. Now, the solar collector is actually different in this mod than it was in vanilla. In vanilla, it would give all these tiles +1 energy. Here, though, it will only give +50% energy for the city that is being covered by it. So if we use it now, we're going to gain like 8 energy income total. So I'm actually going to save this for later. Sleep. Do we want to grab this one? I think I'm going to grab it. Let's go this way. So where do we go next? Probably going to explore the north a little bit. Oh, there we go. Found a resource pod. Hopefully we grab this before they do. We have a quest here. Alright, it's clear that the indigenous species of this planet may pose a threat to our growth. Though we cannot determine their intelligence, their hostility has been documented. Moving forward, we must decide how to deal with them. Do we attempt to domesticate the local wildlife or exterminate? I think we're going to domesticate. Harmony and supremacy is really the more sort of the most related to our gimmick, especially as we're playing a gimmick based on growth and health. So I think harmony is the best way to go. Supremacy, not so much. Towards the late game, we might find ourselves going for a harmony priority because these are the two that provide the most health, at least in my experience. I'm not so sure about supremacy. I think they provide the most production and industry and stuff like that. But nevertheless, we're going to choose this. The next step is to build an alien preserve, which I think is a late game technology. Let me just double check. Alien preserve. It's all the way there. Okay. It's not very late game, it's actually a mid-game technology. What else do we get? We get the miasmic repulsor, which clears miasma. The alien preserve is right there. +2 culture from resilin and chitin, which I think we do have. That's actually a very good quest line. I love this. We have some tubers here, we have some fiber. Okay, where's the resilin? And we don't have fibers. Oh, there's the chitin, I guess. Okay, so I guess it's not as useful as I thought, but we might find some more. There's some more chitin here. So if we want to build that thing and make full use of it, there's some fiber. I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more. Especially the resilin stuff. But apparently there's not much resilin nearby. Whatever that is, I have no idea what it means. Alright. Let's move on. Oh, really? He is standing on top of it? Okay. Nice. 40 energy and an artifact. Now, this artifact is supposed to be a hull repair suit, which is the thing that you use to sort of repair stuff from outer space, you know, outside the ship. Interesting. So if we grab 3 of these, presumably we will gain some kind of bonus, either a bonus building that is not available through technology, or some kind of bonus empire-wide special ability or something like that. So this would be kind of cool. And it actually depends on what kind of artifacts you use. So if you use 3 Old Earth, it's going to be very different from 2 Old Earth and 1 Progenitor. It's going to be different from 3 Progenitors and stuff like that. Wait, speaking of these artifact types, from what I've seen, the Progenitor artifacts are the most difficult to find. You usually have to examine some kind of Progenitor ruins, which are very rare, and there's going to be a lot of competition for them anyway. So if we find them, you have to beeline for these bastards and get them right away. The second most least common are the aliens, although you might find quite a bunch of them in the alien nests, which we haven't seen yet. The Old Earth in the early game are by far the easiest, because by combining them, you will find them in these drop pods, I think. Yeah, and a lot of human sort of this crashed satellite here, which is a human ruin. You might find one of these as well. All right, thank you very much. This one's out of the way. We got some culture. Excellent. That's exactly what we need. Because our culture income is kind of sucky in the early game. Yeah, sure, let's go for this. So here's the thing. When Firaxis made this, when the developers made this game first, they pointed out that even if you're playing Harmony and Supremacy or whatever, you don't really have to go for Prosperity. But in my mind, the gimmick works best if you play it as thematically as possible. So I'm going to go with Frugality, especially since we already have a lot of population growth for our faction. So I'm going to go with Frugality here, and I do want to expand early. So in this, when we grab this virtue here, we will gain a free colonist. And I think I will go for industry later on. It depends on if we find ourselves having a lot of production in this area, and that to the point where we don't need too much industry. I might go for might actually, especially if the nearby factions start to get aggressive. But it doesn't look like they're too close to me. I mean, if someone lands here and starts expanding in this area, yeah, that would be a problem. But for now, I don't think we need that. So where am I going to move next, I wonder? Maybe here? Yeah, let's go there. Alrighty, we have 2 alien nests, and there's a bunch of these guys. And apparently they're quite advanced. Yeah, this is like a tier 2 alien right here, the raptor bug. If one of these guys attack my soldiers, they can actually like reduce it to half health or something. So it's going to be... yeah, we're going to be quite weak in the early game, and we want to avoid entangling with these guys. If we attack one of them, they're going to go crazy. They're just going to start attacking everything they see. Especially on this primordial planet type. Alright, so these guys decide to spawn very far away from me, which is great. Let's move this way. So where do we expand from here? Oh, there's a resource pod. Let's see if we can grab this before someone else does. Whoever this is. Ouch, miasma. That miasma stings. Nice. We have a Progenitor ruin. Yes, perfect. Exactly what I was hoping for. And there's another one. Well, yeah, that was a misclick, but yeah, that's exactly what I want you to move. I want you to move here and grab the Progenitor ruin. Yes, please. Okay. So we're gonna get pioneering in 3 turns. Which means, I don't know, I actually want to pump out this Pioneer as soon as possible, and I guess I might go for one of these, maybe, for the time being, especially the culture thing, which gives me +1 culture, which is not enough. No, it's not enough. Let's try maybe the research. Does it improve things? Still 3 turns. What about agriculture? Alright, so it's down to 8 turns until we gain a new population, which is not that great either. Let's go for industry, +4. I don't know. Well, the thing is, I could go for the queue and just swap things around, but unfortunately, you cannot do this in this game. If you start building something, you cannot move it up and down the queue for some reason. Or maybe there is a way and I have no idea how it works, which is kind of annoying. So, you know what? I'm just going to go for the social development. Yeah, that's fine. By the time the pioneer technology is done, we will have achieved the new virtue. Yeah, perfect. Man, that's a lot of miasma in this area. What the hell's going on? This way. Cool. So, where are all the artifacts? I was expecting to get more artifacts than this. But we are not. You know, I think the volume is too low. We might want to raise the volume a little bit. Do we want a worker? Yeah, let's get the worker, because we are having some production problems, and we do need to improve these things in the region. This will give us more food, which we kind of need. Let's go down and get the Progenitor Ruin. So what am I going to do with this gentleman? Well, I think I want to escort the worker, or the pioneer that comes out of there. So let's go back home. You know, the wisest thing would probably to send this guy exploring elsewhere, but I don't want to send him too far, especially with all this stupid miasma in this region. Yeah, I was not expecting so much. Dear God, that is a lot of miasma. I mean, eventually when we get to the Harmony, maximized Harmony, like level 8, this would be a great place to, like a defensive city, I suppose. Especially with all these forests and nearby alien nests. But right now it's not as rewarding. Yeah, so we're gonna ignore that. Good. So far it looks like the factions are spawning not too close to me, especially except for this one here. Which is fine by me. Build one colonist? Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. There's no miasma here, right? Yeah, there's no miasma. Good. 6 turns to build that. We get +1 food from this. That's actually not much. I don't know. You know what? Build a plantation. Why the hell not? Alright, so once we finish the pioneering technology, I think it's time to build a colonist. There we go. So which of these tiles are being worked right now? This one here. Yeah, so once we finish this plantation, I assume the population will be assigned there. I don't want to lock him down just yet, yeah, because this is going to sort of mess up the auto-employment. Reset, yeah, okay. We'll worry about that later. Alright, so what's the next step? I think the next obvious step for me is the chemistry. Because I want to see if there's any petroleum nearby, and if there is, we might actually go for the laser comm satellite and hopefully try to maintain our link with the old Earth using the petroleum that we get. But if there's no petroleum anywhere nearby where we can feasibly expand, then I'm actually going to abandon that quest altogether. And I will not have to build all of these sort of signal-related buildings. I just sort of ignore them completely. Now I do want to explore this guy until the settler comes out. Maybe we should have to heal him. Now I know this looks like desert, it's actually snow. I know it looks weird. But yeah, apparently there is snow on this lava planet. You know, whatever. I'll take it. Yeah, you can go ahead and heal. And let's search the ruins. So here's the plan. I'm actually going to keep those guys in storage, even though they give us a slight bonus. The reason why I want to keep them around is I want to sort of collect as many artifacts as I can find, and then I would sort of start mixing and matching them together to see what they get. Yeah, you would have to sort of experiment and see what the result will come out of them. And yeah, so I would want to have a large number of them so we can experiment later on. It just gives us more options, I suppose. Well, I suppose we can move you up here. This is kind of awkward. When we have, by the time we have this colonist guy, the petroleum would not yet have appeared yet, which is unfortunate. Another weird thing is that we don't have a lot of rivers nearby, which means we're not going to be able to build any farms. Yeesh. Well, I guess we're going to have to rely on lakes, which we don't have either. Man, this is rather unfortunate, isn't it? And there's no biomass either. Is there any biomass nearby? Xenomass? I think, yeah, xenomass is a required resource if you want to pursue the harmony type situation, but we don't have any nearby. I guess if I build a city here, we will eventually grab the fiber, though we're gonna have to like travel a long way around this trench to actually get there and improve it. Yeah, I just realized this is not a very good starting location, besides the capital itself, I suppose. I guess we're gonna have to settle here, next to the lake. We get some copper, some silica, and we're gonna have to rely on a lot of sort of specialists, especially grower specialists, pretty much. There is some ferraxite. Ferraxite is actually required for the supremacy units mainly, and a few buildings. Okay, so this guy is actually taking some damage. Hopefully by the time you finish this, he would still be alive. Please stay alive. I'm gonna go ahead and explore that area just to see what we might find. Hopefully we find some kind of resource pod. Alrighty, so we found, your expedition team found the Cavendish Labyrinth beneath the Progenitor ruins. While plumbing the depths, they found a dozen interactive devices. Blah, 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 blah. If you have time to pause this and read it, go ahead and do this. So what do we get? Oh, okay. So one of the late game technologies called neural uploading is now easier to research. So where is this technology? Let's see. In neural, it's all the way there. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, neural uploading actually now requires less research points than the other surrounding late game techs. So yeah, this one requires 343, this one 429. So we have some preliminary intelligence on this one. I was expecting a maybe resource, some kind of artifact, but we can't always get what we want. That is unfortunate. So there's some xenomass here, but it's very far away from us. And if you want to build roads here, we can't build roads over trenches, unfortunately. So yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm going to move this guy here.